This is my story from $1,000 to 8 million in like 6 years or something. And in this video, I'm going to tell all of you guys about exactly how I went from $1,000 to $8 million. And now I'm 23 years old. I have my dream car, my Audi R8 V10 Plus, completely paid off. My truck completely paid off. I'm building my dream house. It's a $3 million house. That's completely taken care of and done. I have a 7-figure company, a Google Ads agency actually. My parents are from a communist country. They're from Romania. They moved here in 1988. They came with absolutely nothing. My dad, he worked hard when he moved here and he built up some money, but he lost everything in 2008. My parents got divorced and my mom was uneducated and did not speak good English. So she worked at Wendy's. She worked as a maid, cleaning people's houses, and she received very little income. We grew up in Detroit with her and my 3 older siblings living in a 2-bedroom apartment in a pretty ghetto area. So it all started in like 2005 and 2006. I had this idea that poisoned my mind, and it was this idea that I needed to be wealthy. This was given and programmed to me throughout my childhood because I would constantly hear my mom say over and over and over again, nu avem bani, which is we don't have money in Romanian. Nu avem bani, nu avem bani. So like it haunted me. And I noticed that a lot of the times growing up, like kids would ask me why I don't have cooler shoes or different clothes. Like I couldn't even afford when I went out with my friends. My mom couldn't give me money and I couldn't buy food and they just looked at me weird. So there was a lot of embarrassment associated with the fact that we didn't have money growing up. And so I wanted to fit in and I wanted to be a normal person, a normal kid, like any kid does. So from a very young age, I wanted to be wealthy. I wanted to make a lot of money because I understood the pain that it caused me. I go to high school and I get my first job at Taco Bell and KFC. And I start making about, what is it, like $8.25 an hour or something like that. I remember my first paycheck was $90 and I was like, damn, like I can go and buy like a shirt from Vans. I can go and like buy new shoes. So I got my first taste of money, my first lick of it at Taco Bell. And I was like, I want more of this. And I heard about a car wash job where people get paid a lot in tips. So it was the same hourly, but you get tips every day. So I went to the car wash and I started vacuuming my life away, making like, I think it was $8 or $9 an hour, and then walking away with like between $20 and $50 every day in tips. I did that for some time. I was continuing to save up and grind. And then I went and got a sales job, like a auto glass sales job at the car wash. So I was selling people's windshield. And now at this time I was making like about $300 to $500 per week. So I was still doing pretty good for my age. I was still in high school at this time, but I was saving up everything and trying to build up as much money as possible. My only goal was to get a G35 so I could show off to all my friends. And that's eventually what I did end up buying. So I was very proud of myself that I was able to get that car in high school. I started saving enough money and then eventually I had enough to flip cars. Now, just a quick thing, I'm skipping a lot of stories. Like I sold muffins at school, I flipped go-karts, I worked a caregiving job as well, but I'm just skipping those. They aren't as interesting. Anyway, fast forward, I started flipping cars. So I actually had 9 cars by the time I was 19. So at this time in my life, I probably had between like $5,000 to $10,000 to my name. I had a tiny bit of experience making money, and I was just about to discover dropshipping and real estate and all that stuff. I was just about to get into that world, that realm. So I go home and I run into Graham Stephan on YouTube. So Graham Stephan is a real estate agent. He sells homes, saves the money, buys rental properties, rents them out, and collects passive income. And I was like, yo, I want to do that. I don't actually want to work. I want to have freedom to do whatever I want and be rich. Like that's what I want. That's what everybody wants, right? So I discovered that and I was like, I'm going to be a real estate agent, like pause on med school, straight up real estate. So after I made my decision, I dropped out of college, which I had enrolled in 2 weeks prior. Now I go to real estate school and I'm like, yo, when I'm not selling a house, how am I going to make money in the meantime? So I go online and I'm like, how to make money online? Boom. Discovered dropshipping. Dropshipping just started getting popular at the time. And I was like, all right, bet I'm going to try dropshipping. Long story short, my first store doesn't work, but I ended up finding some smaller YouTubers that give me great advice. And I start my first dropshipping store. And that store actually turns out and makes me about $35,000 in revenue. So I'm like, damn, this is dope. I'm going to do it again. But instead of Instagram influencers, I'm going to do Facebook ads. So I start more stores and I'm running them on Facebook, on Instagram, doing everything that I can, learning as much as I can and making a lot of money. And I remember like this was the point in time where I was working as a caregiver and also dropshipping and also doing like real estate. And I was like, okay, dropshipping is doing well. I remember like my first $400 day and my first 1K day and my first 2K day. And then eventually I quit caregiving. And then eventually I quit real estate and went full-time into dropshipping. So I was doing dropshipping for some time, making some good money there. And then I posted my first YouTube video. What is going on, guys? My name is Sebastian, and today I'm going to show you how I generated $700 in income in one day in only my second week of Shopify. YouTube is growing very like linearly, very slowly. And then I post my first viral video, how I made $991 in 14 hours. And for some reason that video popped up. It was ranked #1 for Shopify for a long time. A lot of people saw it and it got like 300,000-400,000 views, and it really like became the backbone of my channel. So I started making money off ad revenue. I started making money off affiliate deals. And then eventually I got the idea to make my first course and teach people like the preliminary stages of how to dropship and everything that I've learned up to this point and put it together in one course for $300. I got a sale, and then I got another sale, and then I got another sale, and I ended up making like $1,500 pure profit. So I was like, damn, like this is crazy. I'm making decent money for my age. I was like, this is really cool. I kept on growing my YouTube channel, kept on getting ad revenue, kept on drop shipping, kept on doing everything. And just my income started going more and more and more and more and more. My net worth at this point is about 70 to 80,000. That's what I have saved. And this is like where everything in my life starts changing, because now I'm making good money and I'm able to like go out and do anything I want and travel and spend money. So I continue to work on my stores. I continue to grow on my YouTube channel. At this point in my life, my net worth was like between a couple hundred grand, $500,000 of some sort. It was somewhere in there. I don't remember exactly. This was another checkpoint in my life. The end of 21 years old. It was cool. It was a good time. And then we all know what happened, but a disease came across the world. My lease was up at the house. I broke up with my girlfriend that I was dating for 5 years. Everything was closed, so I didn't know what to do. So I just moved back to my mom's house, and I just lived with my mom and my brothers in her house, and I played video games. And I was depressed about my girlfriend, and I was just kind of like sitting around with a bunch of money, not doing anything. And eventually I got sick of it. So I decided to start a Google Ads agency, which is the 7-figure company that I own now, and started putting a lot of attention into that. And then I got interested in flipping a house. So I was like, I have this money. I'm going to put some of it down and put it to work. So I bought my first house for $310,000. I renovated it for 3 months with my brother. And then I sold it 5 days after we were done for $411,000. So that was really fun. I decided it was time to get back into YouTube, because YouTube has been a great revenue for me in my life and a great source of friends and network. My friend got me into NFTs. I started flipping NFTs. I started trading NFTs. I made videos about NFTs. I started advising on some projects. I got into the NFT world, and I was continuing in the crypto world, and it seemed like just everything was doing well. YouTube was growing a lot. I was doing more sponsorships on YouTube. So I'm just making like a lot of money right now. Now we're here, and I don't know what the net worth is. Like I said, 8 million in the title. I don't know what it is. It probably fluctuates a lot every single day, but it's between 6 and 8 million. It's something like that, using a higher number because clickbait. So yeah, that's basically my story. I started a lot of businesses. I tried a lot of things. I tried investing. I failed along the way. I got sued at one point. I got scammed for 30 grand at one point. So many failures in those years, but overall we kept pushing. We kept persisting, and now we have an amazing trajectory, and I'm super excited for the future.